The deep state does not care about agents of the TI program. But first, please help my humble channel to grow. Like, subscribe, share, comment, any combination thereof. Why? Because you're beautiful on the inside and on the outside. Now, swag. So let me tell you a story and then I'll get to my point. Candace Owens was interviewing a whistleblower for the CIA who found out that information on different agents in certain parts of the world was available on computers that people had access to. And he tried to expose this, and he got in a lot of trouble for it because ultimately they wanted these people to be able, CIA agents, the leadership wanted them to be able to be eliminated by people in these countries just in case they do something wrong. They call it a communications failure or whatever, and one of these CIA agents could be offed. So they wanted the public in these, or at least some of the public in these countries, to have access to this information on these agents. They wound up destroying this man. They nearly took him and his family's life. They moved him into a home that had something that gave off radiation, and it nearly took the lives of his son and wife. He said that the top 20% of people in the CIA are malignant narcissists. I would say that they are possessed by demons. They are governed by demonic entities and by Satan. And he said they don't care about the loss of human life. That's why they'll do all these false flags, 9/11 and the Gulf of Tonkin, and they have no problem with taking American lives. And life means nothing to them. Satan came to steal, kill, and to destroy. And he is their father. That is why they behave in this way. The top 20%, he said the bottom 80% of CIA agents, they're patriots. They really want to help the country, but it's the top that do this. And so this made a lot of sense for me in my personal life as a TI, because they make them do things to me over and over again that causes the wrath of God to come on the agents of the program. And now I understand, okay, they don't care. They don't not only do they not care about my life or the life of any TI, they don't care about the life of the agents working for this program. Not one little bit. I believe that because God makes me, I probably care for the agents of this program who are targeting me more than the people who employ them or coerce them, get them to participate in this program. And let me tell you why. So when they most aggressively and scornfully and joyfully target me, God's wrath will fall on them. And sometimes it will fall on them right before my very eyes. It's as if God puts a hold on how far they can go. So one time, shortly after I got out of temporary public housing, a homeless shelter, and into temporary public housing, I was going to this church to pick up some free food. As I went up this little road, there was an small expanse of field on the side, a fence, and then there was, parallel to it, there was this on-ramp. It probably went maybe a quarter mile from the base where you leave the street to where you get to the freeway. And the freeway was probably 50 feet above this ramp, so the ramp had to go up this slope. So this was a time when this RV that had an attachment to it, literally as I'm riding my bicycle, parallel, maybe 20, 30, 40 feet at the most, probably closer to 20 to 30 feet, they speed up on this on-ramp to go up to the freeway so fast and so loud, so joyfully, so scornfully, literally to just try to almost make me fall off my bike. The engine made so much noise. When this RV got from the on-ramp onto the freeway, As they were accelerating in this way, loud and annoying, a gust of wind hit them just as they got on the freeway and blew. It was like God said, blew this RV over, of course, with the attachment, and the side of the RV, I could just see it looked like it had just popped. A bunch of stuff went everywhere. After that happened, I didn't get it, because I'm like, wow, they keep getting these RVs and vehicles with attachment doing the same thing, not as aggressively as that vehicle was, where God's wrath fell on that vehicle and the driver, but almost, and similar looking RVs. And when I heard that CIA agent speak, I thought, okay, I get it now. So it's not necessarily the agents. The agents who are driving these vehicles, they may not know what happened to that particular RV. This happened a little over 3 years ago. So they may not be mocking God. The program certainly is mocking God. But I realized, okay, so the top 20% of the CIA, which is the deep state, they're malignant narcissists. Again, I believe they are possessed by demons, demonic entities. They are controlled by Satan. Satan came to steal, kill, and destroy. Of course they're going to mock God. They probably hope, well, we can't get me, the TI. If we lose the life of some of these agents, who cares? They literally do not care about them. Another form of targeting that's has since I moved to Cheyenne, that has been the most aggressive for me has been motorcycles. And one time when I was about to cross the street in one direction, and then to the left of me, there was a motorcycle about to make a U-turn. Guy was wearing a tank top. This was in June or early July. So he didn't have much, he wasn't dressed. He began to make a left turn, of course, as I'm hitting the intersection. That's how they like to do that, and keeping you boxed in. And he began to rev his engine, but he may have the blessing of God, because as he went into this turn, he began to accelerate, and I guess the Lord protected him or make him think better about it, because he slowed down as he went into the left turn. Whereas what he did, he began to rev his engine. Well, as he went into this left turn, only because he didn't continue to speed up and rev his engine and do all this stuff, a gust of wind hit his motorcycle, and his motorcycle went like that, and he was able to correct it. If he had continued to rev his engine and to accelerate into that left turn, his Harley would have flipped over on the side, and he'd have probably had an arm that would have looked like roast beef, all scraped up. But God made him think better of that. But since then, what I had found was that motorcycle drivers are generally the ones to most aggressively target me. One of the worst examples of this, there was literally, we're in Cheyenne, right? This is not a big city. I'm jogging, and literally a group of motorcycles, I refused to look and count, but I could see them as they were passing me. It might have been a dozen of them. And some of them were doing wheelies, and all of them were revving their engines and just mocking me, this middle-aged man, mocking me and revving their engine, all this stuff. You guys, since I have moved to Cheyenne, so many people have lost their lives on motorcycles. And I'm constantly seeing local news, print in my notifications of people who lost their lives on motorcycles. And I've noticed that as the years have passed, I'm in my 4th year here now in Cheyenne. So July, August, September, October, November. So like 3 years and 4 months. I've noticed that the targeting from motorcycles and motorcycle drivers has become significantly less aggressive. They would rev their engines, you guys, as they're passing me on my bicycle like I'm garbage, trash. And they would rev their engines so loud that it would almost cause me to fall off my bicycle. It'd make it hard to meditate on the Lord or even to think straight. Sometimes I would see the same motorcycle person come back around, and I'm like, he just passed me up. And then he'd go back around and do the same thing again. So many of them have lost their lives, and I suspect that because so many motorcycle riders have lost their lives because the Lord has seen how aggressively they target me, sorry, that's God's decision. If God chooses to take their life, it means nothing to me. You're participating in a program that takes the lives of many people, that pushes people to take other people's lives, that pushes people to take their own lives. So if God sees fit to take their lives, so be it. I will not exult in knowing that these people here in Cheyenne who are riding motorcycles are losing their lives in these ways. I will not exult because I don't want the Lord to stop taking their lives. If that is what the Lord best sees fit to do, may he continue to do so. But it has become a lot less aggressive, a lot less frequent. And I suspect that they have talked amongst themselves and they realize, wow, a lot of us are losing our lives. We are coerced by the deep state to continue to target him, but we're not going to do it quite so aggressively because maybe God's really protecting him and maybe the Lord will allow us to lose our lives as well. I was looking at the local news here in Cheyenne and they were saying there were 3 serious motorcycle accidents this month. In a month, you're talking about a small city, right? Cheyenne is like 60,000 people. And the state's population is so small. The suicide rate in the state of Wyoming, it's the highest in the nation, even though this is the smallest populated state in the nation. And so every time someone loses their life in Wyoming, it sort of makes the news. But they said there were 3 motorcycle accidents, severe motorcycle accidents in 1 month, and 2 of them were fatal. 2 of these men who were riding their motorcycles lost their life, and the other one was critically injured. I saw a one where the guy somehow lost control of his motorcycle and he crashed into somebody's home and lost his life. I've been seeing in Cheyenne. All of these are in the city that I'm being targeted in. So these people who are driving their motorcycles, they value their own lives. They don't want to lose their life targeting some, loser, according to this carnal world standard like me. I'm on welfare. Most of my life I've been gay. I'm black. I'm Native American. I'm poor. I don't have a family. I'm trash to this world. But they know that if they target me aggressively on their motorcycles, they stand the possibility of God's wrath falling on them and them losing their lives. So they don't target me as aggressively. And I'm not as targeted as frequently by motorcycle riders either. They care about their lives. There's just been too many of them losing their lives for me to think that they're not letting each other know, wow, maybe we shouldn't target him so aggressively so we can maybe fulfill what the deep state is coercing them to do, but also not incur the wrath of God and then God take their lives. Because the deep state doesn't care about them. They would target me so aggressively, you guys, on motorcycles over and over and over again. And the deep state doesn't care that the wrath of God comes against them. Satan came to steal, kill, and destroy, whether it's the agents of this program or us, the TIs. My mind is blown because I didn't understand until this CIA agent, and the FBI is the same way, and it's these deep state devils that run this TI program. And like he said, the top 20% of them are malignant narcissists. They are governed by Satan and by demons, and they don't care about their own people. They don't care about CIA agents. They don't care about... they tried to take this man's life because he was trying to protect other CIA agents from being outed in different countries. It's incredible. They don't care about agents of this program. They don't care about TIs. Satan came to steal, kill, and destroy all human life. Doesn't matter whose life it is. And fortunately, these motorcycle riders, they care about their own lives because they're targeting me only a fraction of the aggressiveness that they used to. I praise God's holy name. I send out my love to all y'all beautiful born again TIs. Pay your tithes and offerings. Help the poor. Don't make excuses, make sacrifices, and pray 2.5 hours a day, every day. And you're going to see God rock this program and make a joke of this program just like he does for me. Again, I send out my love to all y'all beautiful morning NTIs. God bless.